Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? Let's rise up just a little bit this morning. There we go. Hey, Sue. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Nice to see you. So today we have so much to blab about. So I will just tell you that last night Jeff and I tuned into Netflix. We were clicking around looking for something to watch, and we found President Obama has a series on there called Our Great National Parks on Netflix. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If you are at all interested in nature and our earth and just the wonder of it all, do yourself a favor and watch that show. We watched one episode last night, and it was just, we learned so much. We kept going, did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that? It was amazing. Hey, Chardell. Hi, Keels. So I was just, hey, Jennifer, I was just telling everybody that, hey, Jan, Jeff and I watched this show last night called Our Great National Parks and it's produced, well, it's hosted by President Obama. I don't know exactly who produces it, but the photography is phenomenal. And, hey, Chris, it is just unbelievably magic. Just magic. Like, number one, did you know, hey darling, that there are national parks around the entire world? I did not know that. I thought it was just in the United States. Hey Mary. Did you know that Yellowstone was the first national park in the world, and that it was written into law by President Grant in 1872. I thought that was kind of fascinating too. Anyway, I'm all hyped up on national parks and all of that jazz. So I have a couple of things to share with you. I have I'm going to share with you a little bit more. Since you are all art journalers here, I'm going to share a little bit more. I shared it yesterday on my social media, but we are going to be playing with bleeding art tissue this Saturday in Artsy Alchemy 2. And the cover of I love our national parks too. I do. It's just fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So this cover was created with bleeding art tissue. This page was created with bleeding art tissue. Hey, Michelle. Both of these pages were created with bleeding art tissue. And this page was created with bleeding art tissue. Oh my gosh, it's the greatest. So if you love art journaling and you want to take it up a notch, please consider joining our Artsy Alchemy 2 class. But you can also, and the registration is open for that, but just know that every class on my website, registration is always open. You can, even if it's a class we've already done, you can join that class. You'll have all the access to everything, the printables, the videos, the conversation, all of it. So just know that there are, last year I called my, step up my, art journaling class, Inspire Your Heart with Art. And there's 1, 2, and 3 and 4. They're 3 months long. Those are $15 for each 3-month long session. This year it is called Artsy Alchemy 1, and now we're starting 2. on Saturday, and it is $25 for 3 months of art journaling, which is, I just think it's the freest expression. But you know, I am all about all things artsy. So I like to do art in my Bible. And so we're going to be creating this on Sunday, this page, and this Bible entry. And this is printed on vellum. And I'm going to show you all the things that I have discovered. I'm just like in love with vellum. And so I'm all about just challenging myself. Like, what if I did this with it? What if I did that with it? What if I... You'll see. Anyway, that registration is open for that too. That's Let's Get Artsy with Our Bibles, April 2022. And then I have one more class to share with you. And this is Wordsmith Art. And this is, we talk about and play with, we play with mid-century modern trees and watercolors, and I created this flap, right? Let's tip in on, I printed it on vellum. Everything else I painted and highlighted with my black pens. I'll share with you all those techniques. That is next Saturday, the 30th, I believe. Anyway, Wordsmith Art, that is available. That registration is open for that too. So, I have so many things to talk to you about. Yesterday, I had a very good mail day. This was not scheduled to appear on my doorstep until Friday, and look what arrived. The brand new Strawberry Moon magazine. I haven't gotten a chance to peruse it much yet, but seriously. Keely, I know you already got yours. I'm dying to just chat with you about it. Look at it. So remember that Strawberry Moon is available either in digital form or print form. There is this, so you know that, remember the last edition, there was the whole article about all the different pens. This one, all the different water-soluble mediums. And you know I'm all about water-soluble mediums. So just know there's just pages and pages and pages of information that I just cannot wait to delve into. Anyway, and as always, you get this amazing postcard that I hang on my bulletin board. I have a bulletin board above my computer that's just there to inspire me. There are cards that people have sent me, or there are things that I've made, banners that I've made, or colors that inspire me, or patterns. It's just everything. But anyway, this will go up there too. And how cool is this? How big is your brave? Sometimes mine is big, sometimes not so much. Okay, so if you are brand new here, please consider liking, subscribing, and oh golly, I forgot. Like, comment, and subscribe to Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Following, that's the other word I was looking for. And then ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Ann Corbiere-Scott. That is the way to go. And I will say that I am super close to reaching 2,000 followers on Instagram. And so once I hit 2,000 followers, I will do a drawing for a gift certificate on my website. So if you know friends that would be interested in my stuff, or me just babbling along and creating art, if they are interested in that, please consider asking them to follow me on Instagram. And if they're doing that, let's do Facebook and YouTube also. So, alrighty. Let's open our art journals. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a couple of things. So the inside cover of my art journal, I like to cover in things that are meaningful to me, that happen to me, that I get in the mail, something that I think is just particularly cool. So on the back, when you get the print edition of Strawberry Moon magazine, it is sealed with this sticker. And you know I am the queen of, I can take that off without ripping it because I gotta save that, right? So like I saved this sticker, remember from the soap? This sticker is from my luggage when we came back from Puerto Rico. Your luggage is, your bags are all checked and then they stick a sticker on there. So I'm gonna take my glue stick. So think about things that are just kind of cool to you. It doesn't have to be cool to anybody else. It could just be cool to you, right? So I'm just going to cover this in glue stick, and then I'm going to kind of overlap it just a little bit because I think that might be kind of cool, and stick it down on the inside cover. So think about what you can stick in yours. And for me, I don't go looking for things. I just, when I happen upon something, I just save it and stick it down. Oh, I was also going to tell you, I found this little epoxy heart in, I don't know, I was cleaning off something and I found it, and so I glued it down. So just know your covers can continue to grow artistically too, right? So just know that it's okay to just, it doesn't have to be all finished. We've talked about that so many times, right? Right, Keely, I love that. Another thing I wanted to talk about is as we're going along in our art journals, remember that it's okay that we grow as we go, right? So this was our first page that we did together, right? And I said, don't tear this out. We can do something with that. So today, I'm just going to apply color to it. So while we chat, if you have a page like this, let's just apply some watercolor to it. So I'm putting a piece of deli paper behind, and I'm going to come in here, and I have my little palette up here today. And I'm thinking green. I don't know, green and turquoise are kind of speaking to me this morning. So I put some water in there. I'm letting it kind of percolate. Because I've got a little bit of pink that bled through. So I'm kind of digging that idea of, I don't know. The contrast of that. So I pulled some green, and now I'm going to pull some of this turquoise, and I need to take a second and work that water into that paint. And I feel like I want it to be a little, I want the turquoise to be a little bit more dominant, because that green is so strong. I really want a little more blue. So I hope that you are pulling, if you were one of the ones who've art journaled with me since the beginning of this endeavor this year, I hope that you will find your page that has all of that black marker. So this tin is actually by this palette of paints is by Josie Lewis. I won't even embarrass myself by telling you out loud how many palettes of watercolors I have, but I have a lot. But I usually use, I have a big palette with all of my, they're called Art Philosophy now, but they used to be called Prima Watercolor Confections. So it doesn't matter if my brush strokes show or if some parts are light or dark. I promise it doesn't matter. It does not matter, because we're going to do stuff on top of it and on top of it and on top of it, right? We just want to get some color down. I just think that's making all of that black just like it makes it even more cool, doesn't it? I'm just loving that. Hey, Nancy Laberty, how are you? Oh my gosh, it's been forever and a day. I'm so happy to see you. So now I'm going to dry that. So remember, I talked about that our art journals are the place where we work out our ideas. And so, and it doesn't matter if it's been 5 months since you created something and you want to go back and do something more on it, or if it was yesterday. Promise, it doesn't matter. But do it when the idea comes to you. Like, I knew that I wanted to make something with this. I just didn't know what my next step was going to be. And so a couple days ago, I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to add some color to it. That doesn't mean that I have to finish this today or even this week or this month. I just knew I wanted to put some color down. I wanted to make a move, right? So just know that there's the next layer. I think I have more in here. Remember, this page we did with highlighters. We just made horizontal stripes with highlighters, and we'll do something else with this. We're just going to leave it until something comes to it. Although if something comes to you, you go for it. Okay, let's see. So today, marigolds. Remember when we drew our flower? I've been working little bit by little bit by little bit on this. Queenie, I finished this much last night when I was watching the National Geographic show. Not National Geographic, excuse me, National Park show. So I'll add some color to that as I go along. But what I wanted to play with today is I wanted to find a clean page. There we go. And what I wanted to play with today is some circles and some mark making. I just love circles, and so I find myself drawn to them, and I just keep going back to them. And so what I want to do, I'm going to grab a pencil. Look at this cute Ray Dunn I found at Home Goods with glasses that look just like mine. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a pencil, and I'm just going to start with some wonky circles. Oh, Nance, you don't need to get caught up. You just catch up when you can, right? There's no pressure. So I'm just drawing some wonky circles. You can use, if you're not a wonky kind of person, there are all kinds of things that you can use. You could use a cup. You could use a lid to something. You could do all kinds of things. I have these two circle-y template things that I think they're actually engineering tools, but We can use whatever we want. I'm just going to do just wonky circles. So I'm just getting some circles down. Hey, Luann, how are you? Okay, so I just have no pressure at all. No pressure at all. Everybody take a big drink, because now we're going to start playing with color. Okay, so now I'm going to take my deli paper. I'm going to stick it behind so I don't get bleed through. And I'm going to think about my palette. So like, where do I want to go color-wise? What do I want to achieve? So I'm going to put my palette of paint right up here. And I really like that turquoise, but I saw someone, and please remind me if you remember, someone a little while ago did one of our assignments in this class, did green and purple. So I might need to pull out my big palette because I really want to paint with, you know what? I really want to paint with that olivey green. Hey Mary, how are you? Okay, so I'm feeling like purples and greens. So let's look at those on the color wheel. So where are we? Violet and green. So those are tertiary colors, I believe. No. They are, well, they're cool colors, violet and green, and they are secondary colors, violet and green. And so if you don't already have a color wheel, get yourself one. It's about $5, and it will, I'm telling you right this minute, you will not be sorry. It's just such good information to have. Okay, so I'm just going to start painting my circles. I don't really have a plan one way or the other. I know I just want kind of a olivey green, but I'm going to pick a couple of olivey greens and some purples. And I'm picking a more blue purple. You know, purple can be blue or red, right? So it can be violet blue or violet red. Two totally different shades of purple. So look at this light purple versus this light purple. You can really see the difference. Let's see. You can really see the difference in the blue purple and the red purple. So today, I know I want to paint with the blue purple. So that's where I'm going. So I'm going to just wet my brush. I'm going to just start with this one. And I'm just going to start painting in these circles. And I'm going to go, if I want, I'm not being careful. So I could go over my pencil lines. It's all right. Because I'm going to do some pen work after this anyway. Let's see. Now I have this deeper purple here. So those of you who might not know, my friend Tessa helped me create this giant palette of all of my Prima Marketing watercolors. And she created a giant swatch chart to accompany it. See if I can find it. Anyway, I am just madly in love with it. And the reason that we did this was, well, I can't find the swatch chart, but it is available in the file section of the Let's Get Artsy with Ann Corbiere-Scott private Facebook group. Look at how pretty those two look together. I'm just loving it. Where was I going with that? I was making some big point. Oh, the reason that I did this with these is because I found myself using the same palettes over and over and over. And I knew, and I had started to kind of Frankenstein a little palette together. This little palette, I started to Frankenstein some other colors in it. And so Tessa and I put our heads together and we came up with this giant palette that we kept. So then I use so many more colors now. I use so many more colors. So I'm just little by little filling in. And I don't care if it's dark and light, and I kind of want that actually. I'm going to add a little bit of another green that's more olivey, kind of more yellow green. I really like that yellow green combination. I know, Tessa is a rock star, isn't she, Sue? Like, seriously. It helps me to have friends who are organized and like that. Like, that's one of their gifts. Because it is absolutely not my gift. But I love my palette too. It's opened my creating to all new colors. So let's get some more purple up here. All right, we got one more up here. Good morning, Joni Travis. How are you? I miss you like mad, mad, mad. Do you work today? Can we chat? Let's see. I think I want to do that dark purple. One more dark purple up here. So while you're creating this, I just want you to just be thinking about the creating part, right? I'm filling this circle with color. And I really like like I want to add a little bit of this deeper purple to this lavender. And I know it's a little bit tricky when we're doing it on composition paper because but shut up, look at that. Look at that! Right, let's do the same down here. Just adding a little bit of darker color. And then just doing that jiggy-jaggy blend. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It won't be, probably. But it'll have lots of dimension, and that's cool, right? So let's take a little bit of this green. And then I'm just going to do that jiggy-jaggy blend. Just wherever I feel like it. Wherever I just am feeling the need. Kind of already have a little bit of a shadow down here, so let's just kind of intensify that a little bit. This guy looks so oddball out, doesn't he? So let's take a paper towel and see if we can remove some of that color. Get some of it out of there. Then we'll dry it and then we'll see what we can do. I like that I've got some nice lights and darks. And remember, drying in between each layer is key to most painting, I find. Oh, Joni, I adore you. Okay. Now, so I have a couple more things I want to add to this circly page. Remember I said we were going to do some pen work, so I want everything to be pretty dry. Now I'm going to come in with my micron, and I'm using my plastic nib because it's strong. And I'm going to, whoops, nope, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to do some wonky circles that overlap just a little bit of varying sizes. So let's just do those for now. And then I want you to go back to your there we go, our mark making catalog that we've created, right? And I want you to fill these circles with mark making. So let's do, I'm thinking I'm gonna do these little hearts. Right? It can be whatever you want it to be. And do you see how that little bit of black is just, and I'm going to go right over the purple. That little bit of black is giving us all the feels, all the contrast, and it's just making all those other colors pop, right? And you don't have to be like right in the lines. Nothing in my life is right in the lines. My husband does enough of that for both of us. He's an engineer. So just fill these. Hey, Renee. Fill this layer of circles with Hey Patty, how are you? With mark making. Digging that. Here we go. Right, so now I have this one down here and I have this one up here. So it could be whatever you want, right? But remember that you have probably, if you followed along with me, you probably have two sets of double page spreads of mark making in your catalog, right? So let's find mine. Oh, we're doing something fun today, Renee. You'll tune in later and create. Okay, that's fine. There we go. All right, so I have this set. So I'm thinking maybe something like this. I love this one. I love this one, so maybe I'll do something with that. Okay, let's see. So I think I'm gonna go right. Then I'm just gonna start playing with that. Then coloring in as we go. And then here, maybe do two. Let's do one here too. This is so meditative. Right? So this time, let's do our circles first. And then I'm going to connect them. Just going to go around, connect them. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, because I can keep coming back to it and playing with it and playing with it and playing with it. But you're starting to get the idea, right? Everything is connected in a way. Let's make this a little bit bigger because my connector's right there. Right? Like all of these circles are starting to be connected in a composition, right? So while you are playing with yours, I'm going to read our section of comfort book today. Okay. To remember during the bad days. That it won't last. You have felt other things. You will feel other things again. Emotions are like weather. They change and shift. Clouds can seem as still as stone. We look at them and hardly notice a change at all. And yet, they always move. The worst part of any experience is the part where you feel like you can't take it anymore. So, if you feel like you can't take it anymore, the chances are you are already at the worst point. The only feelings you have left to experience are better than this one. You are still here, and that is everything. Come on. How amazing is that? just simply amazing. Simply, simply amazing. Okay, let's take a drink. So I was watching CBS Sunday Morning, as you know I do, and there was a story about this man who was a mechanic and a skateboarder, and his name was Jared, and he lived in Connecticut, and he had this friend who asked him to come help him with this little job of cleaning out a barn. And he said that the stuff in the barn had been sitting there for 40 years. And so he's like, all right. So he joined his friend, and they got to the barn, and they started cleaning things out. And inside of the barn, they found a dumpster, like a 40-foot long dumpster. And in that dumpster were canvas after canvas after canvas, wrapped in plastic paintings. How amazing is that? And so they started to look at them, and they started to do a little bit of research. Like, each painting was signed, so always sign your work. And they noticed that, so they found his, but it was like his first initial and then his last name, F. Heinz, like Heinz ketchup. Anyway, they Googled and Googled and Googled, and they didn't find anything. But as they were going through all of these paintings, imagine that 40-foot dumpster was full of paintings. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Anyway, as they were digging and digging and digging, they found one painting that had his whole name on it. And his name was Francis Matson Heinz. So they looked up Francis Matson Heinz on Google, and they found out that he was something else. So he had been he had served in World War II, I believe. And so it's like another little artist study this morning. I love that. I love that. He had painted, he had painted quite a bit, and that in the 70s and 80s, he had created quite a bit of, he did lots of advertising for department stores. He did lots of their artwork. And then he wrapped the Washington Square Arch in New York City in fabric. And then he wrapped JFK Terminal in fabric. Like, he had these big artistic installations. He wrapped the Port Authority bus station in fabric. Like, he had these big, the only person that I can think of like that is Christos. If you remember Christos, he used to make huge, artistic, what's the word I want to say? Installations. I don't know what else to call. They were just huge. Like, Christos had these big yellow umbrellas that went from San Francisco to the border of Mexico, if I'm remembering correctly. But anyway, they went through the desert, yeah, out into the ocean, back. Oh my gosh, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, and but the one thing that you'll notice in all of his paintings, if you should look him up, is that his all of his art contained tension of some kind. Like he had lots of like ropes and cables, and do you know how that that portrays tension? That's what he did, and I think that's where the fabric came in also. So, and he was a big proponent of creating every day. That one just spoke to me, because that's what we do. So let's see, where do I want to go with it? So now down here, I have a dark one, a light one, and what am I going to do down here? Do I want to do another dark one to kind of, well, you know what? I think I'm going to do these. And like I said, I'm going right over the pieces, the circles that are behind. And like this, like I'm just getting my idea down. I can come back and fill these in with color. So his name was Francis Matson, Matson, Hines, Hines. Catherine. If that helps. Francis Matson Hines. So I think we should study him. What do you think? Like maybe our next artist studies should be Francis Matson Hines. Thanks, Keels. I just found it so fascinating. Me too, Catherine, me too. I love learning about the artist and like what their philosophy was and what the arc of their art is, because we don't all stay the same. We don't paint the same throughout our entire lifetime, right? We ebb and flow. We try new things. And when we try new things, then those things just become kind of incorporated in our creating. I just love that idea. So what color palette did you guys choose to create with today? I mean, sometimes just know that when you're looking at other people's art, remember we've talked about, we don't ever copy someone else's art or redraw something that somebody else has drawn. That's not cool at all. And then publish it like it's your own. I've had people do that and it just hurts your feelings. But as we are, know that you can be inspired by somebody by all kinds of things, right? You can be inspired by someone else's color choice. I was inspired by this color choice. I think that it was Laura. Was it, Keely? Because you and I spoke about the greens and purples. Greens and blues, those are always red, yellow, green, blue, green. Ooh, pretty, Sue. Greens and blues. Nice, nice, nice. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I am going to just do some sketchy circles around my circles. I'm just kind of feeling it this morning. But you do you, right? You don't have to do what I do. You can do what's aesthetically pleasing to your eye. Right? Hi, Debbie. How are you? Be inspired by other artists, but don't do their exact piece, right? So I saw a girl on Instagram do something like this, and so I knew I wanted to put my own little spin on it. I knew I wanted to create with these circles. Another thing that I'm thinking I want to add to this, everybody take a drink, is I think I want to splatter more of this color. So I'm going to wet my brush. I'm going to come into this green over here, the olivey green. Let's get a little bit more water in there. There and there. Remember, we put water on that paint and then we just work it in to the pan of color. And then I just want to splatter so it just kind of goes all over. But when I'm in doing that, I am tying things together. But if this doesn't feel right to you, then absolutely don't do it. But do you see why drying in between each layer of color, of paint, is advantageous? Because if this were wet, we would get a whole different thing, right? We'd get a whole different look. So just know that one isn't better than the other. I'm just saying, I'm finding currently, next week I might change my mind, but currently I'm finding drying in between each layer is advantageous because I wanted the green to show up on top of the purple, right? I wanted the green to show up on top of the other green as a fully formed dot. If I was doing wet on wet, then I would get, it would be very loose, and I want to play with that technique too, some loose watercolor. But for today, I'm feeling like drying in between each layer of paint is giving me the look that I'm wanting. So now I'm going to come in and get some of that purple and really work that water into that paint. And it's running out, but I do not waste. I gotta wait until there's pretty much no paint left in there. Do you remember my pink? Look, because this was so much, there was so much more water in this one. Shut it. I am loving that. I'm really liking him too, Catherine. I just feel like, and remember, all good art has a little bit of black and a little bit of white. I love that. So just, remember, this is the place to work out some ideas. And the idea might be composition. The idea might be color combination. The idea might be a technique that you've just learned, right? But do it over and over and over again. We've talked about that. Like the power of doing it many times is unbelievable. Because remember, we've talked about the first time you do it, you're the beginner. You're just learning it. You're figuring it out. The second time, you put your own little spin on it. What can I do more? How can I funky that up, right? And then every time after, it just gets better and better and better. So you'll just, it's like anything in life, right? The more you practice and play with it, you'll also get to know your mediums, get to know the tools that you have at hand. I know that this plastic nib pen is strong, and I can draw over almost anything. I can write over almost anything, right? And it won't smush down. I know that the nib is about a 0.5. But if I want something super, super thin, which I often do, I know that a 005 is going to give me what I want. So think about that. Think about getting to know your products, right? Hey, Carm, how's Seattle? Getting to know your whatever tools you have at hand. The more you use them, the more you get to know them, the more results you'll see, right? So just keep playing. Just keep playing. So remember, if you want to take your art journaling to the next level, consider joining Artsy Alchemy 2, which starts Saturday morning at 9 a.m. live, Arizona time, live. Or you can watch it. All of my classes you can watch on replay. All of them. That's so good because it's supposed to be hot as Hades here. Although tomorrow is supposed to be 77. But today I think it's going to be 90. And next week we've got 99 on the forecast. Crazy. Although I went to Costco last night and I bought a new pool noodle and a floaty chair kind of thing. So we'll see. Jeff jumped in on Easter Sunday. He tries to do that every year. Whatever. Crazy man. I have not gotten into that pool yet because that water is still cold. I have put my feet in though. Because there's nothing like at the end of a day putting your feet in the pool water when it's cold. Oh, it feels so good. So I hope that you really like your creation. Let's make sure we date it. Today is the what? What is today's date? Honest to Pete. The 21st, and you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is birthday. Thank you all. I hope you had fun. I adore you all, and I'm so grateful every single time. I'm so grateful that you join me and you share with me and you follow all my crazy harebrained ideas. It means the world to me. And if you watch this on the replay, please be sure to comment so that we know that you are here. That will make me so happy. I adore you all, and I will see you on Saturday in Artsy Alchemy 2. Talk to you soon, everyone. Bye.